Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Janda. Welcome back to the Operation Freedom platform here on YouTube and our special segment series where we focus on your health and your wellness. And I'm honored to have back with me Dr. Peter Glidden, who is, in my mind and millions of other people's mind, the top naturopathic physician in the world. All of this information, by the way, is available, our entire series, at operationfreedomhealth.com. operationfreedomhealth.com. In our other presentations, Peter spoke about the 12 foods to avoid. If you want that video, just go to operationfreedomhealth.com, go to the top bar. It has ailments, videos, and there's also a special one for the 12 bad foods. Just hit that and it's right there. All the products we discussed today are also available on operationfreedomhealth.com. Full disclosure, proceeds from the sales of those products do help our platform here on YouTube and the Operation Freedom channel. Background on Peter. He attended Williams College and the University of Massachusetts, where he received his Bachelor of Science degree. Peter then attended and obtained his doctoral degree in naturopathic medicine from the great Bastyr University in Seattle, Washington. He is a member of the American Association of Naturopathic Physicians. He is a member of the Massachusetts Society of Naturopathic Physicians. Currently, he is in private practice in naturopathic medicine and has been licensed to practice naturopathic medicine since 1992. Peter, in addition to being a great clinician, is also a phenomenal author. I encourage you to get his books. They are just a cornerstone of our medical library here in our home. Everybody's home should have them. Everybody is sick, and I know why. And Attempt a Cure with Holistic Medicine, both available on Amazon. Peter, welcome back to the Operation Freedom platform. And today we're going to focus on sleep disturbances.
I'd really like to help you, Dave, but I didn't get much sleep last night, so I don't know how good I'm going to be.
Well, as our friend Spielberg would say, more coffee for Peter. So Peter, let's focus on sleep disturbances. First of all, there's such misinformation out there. Let's first delve into the causes.
Well, there's a number of things that can be operating when somebody has, trouble with sleep, and holistic physicians like to categorize things and break things down into distinctions which are important therapeutically. So, and like the fellow said, when you hear hoofbeats, you think about horses before you think about zebras. So when we're talking about people having trouble sleeping, there's a first couple of things that spring to mind initially that we need to address. Okay, so number one, is the sleep problem a problem falling asleep? Mm-hmm. Or is the sleep problem a problem staying asleep? Some people can't fall asleep for the life of them. They lie in bed for 3-4 hours until they drift off and they have a horrible night's sleep. Some people fall asleep like a rock, and then 2 hours later, every night at 2:35, at exactly the same time, or in a small range, they wake up. And they feel like they've slept all night and they're wide awake. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. What am I going to do, right? So these are the two, I think, at least in my clinical experience, with real patients suffering from real illnesses, these are the two categories that most people suffering with a sleep problem fall into. Now, conventional medical doctors look at everything like it's the same. They don't make these distinctions.
Correct.
Well, you have a trouble falling asleep. It doesn't matter if it's falling asleep or staying asleep. Doesn't matter. The solution is to give hypnotic sedative drugs.
Right, correct.
Right?
They have
like Lunesta.
Yeah, huge side effects.
Amazingly, unbelievably huge side effects. Like you wake up in the middle of the night and you're driving your neighbor's tractor. Right? You didn't even know you were doing it. I mean, it's bad. And again, right? I mean, it's not the drug, it's how it's used. Mm-hmm. Thank God for insulin. Thank God for lidocaine, right? Thank God for general anesthesia and the sterile technique, for goodness sakes. But when you use a hypnotic sedative to force somebody into the land of sleep, you significantly mess with their brain chemistry.
Yep.
And, that is such an intricate mechanism that when you start messing around up there, any number of negative things can happen. But most of all, you don't get to the root cause of why the person couldn't get to sleep in the first place. So this is what we attempt to do every time, right? We attempt to cure the condition. We attempt to uncover the root cause and address the condition, right?
Correct.
I mean, if somebody had rickets or if somebody had scurvy, right? Mm-hmm. The old pirate's disease, scurvy, it's vitamin C deficiency, right?
Correct.
You can do anything you want, and you can give antibiotics and anti-inflammatories and all kinds of treatments. It wouldn't work.
Would not.
You give vitamin C, it works.
Correct.
So we need to try to dial in the right thing here. So if you have trouble falling asleep, the first thing to consider is that you don't have enough calcium and magnesium in your body.
Okay.
Especially if the difficulty falling asleep is associated with kind of musculoskeletal restlessness. And typically there's a syndrome called restless leg syndrome.
That's right.
That tends to show up on and off, maybe to a high degree, maybe to a low degree in people who have insomnia problems. So if you're having trouble falling asleep and or you have anxiety like this, it's called a low-grade anxiety in your legs or the muscles of your body where you really feel like there's just something not right and you got to move them, then you need calcium and magnesium.
Got it.
If the problem is staying asleep, you wake up like an alarm clock every night.
Yep, 2:30.
You're wide awake.
Yeah.
That's a blood sugar issue.
Ah, very good.
That's a blood sugar issue. Now, generally speaking, most people who wake up in the middle of the night and they're wide awake will also have the curious experience that after they eat a meal that has a lot of carbohydrates in it or a lot of sugar in it, they get really sleepy. Like they have lunch, and they have ice cream for dessert, or they have a hamburger on a bun, and French fried potatoes, a lot of carbohydrates there, and then 20 minutes after they eat lunch, they're falling asleep at their desk. That's a blood sugar issue. Right? The first thing to consider is that it's a blood sugar issue. So in that case, the recommendation is to take the 90 essential nutrients plus extra blood sugar support. And in this case, the extra blood sugar support would be in the form of a product called Sweeties.
Sweeties, okay.
Sweeties, right?
Okay.
And then additional essential fatty acids. And there's a number of ways to get essential fatty acids. My favorite, if you're an adult, is the Prohoba Omega essential fatty acid, because that's just omega-3 essential fatty acids. The body needs a nice balance between 3 and 6. Most people get plenty of omega-6 in their diet. So we don't need a nutritional supplement that has 3 and 6. Most adults just need omega-3s, and the Prohoba Omegas contain that. So the 90 essential nutrients, extra calcium, which is the Beyond Osteo FX liquid product, is my favorite. And I would recommend you take an ounce of that, regardless of your body weight. Take an ounce of the Beyond Osteo FX liquid, mix it with an ounce of the plant-derived minerals,
okay,
and a couple of ounces of fresh squeezed orange juice. And I don't mean Tropicana. I mean like get an orange, cut it in half, squeeze the juice out, or buy the fresh squeezed stuff at like Whole Foods or a health food store, right?
Right.
A couple of ounces of fresh squeezed orange juice, ounce of osteo, ounce of plant-derived minerals. Shoot that down like a shot of whiskey right before bed.
Got it.
Brush your teeth, go to bed. Normally, that helps initiate the sleep cycle really, really, really well.
Now, that will work if you're having trouble getting to sleep. Will it also help if you're having the issue with the blood sugar, waking up at 2:35 every morning?
Well, in my opinion, interestingly, if there was just one supplement that I was allowed by law to give,
yes,
couldn't give anything else, just had to give one, I would give Longevity's Beyond Osteo FX. Which is their liquid calcium supplement. It's not just calcium, it's calcium plus a lot of other mineral cofactors, vitamin cofactors. In my clinical experience of 30 years, I can't remember one person who was not extremely deficient in calcium. As far as I'm concerned, everybody's deficient in calcium. And, we speak loosely like that. When I say somebody's deficient in calcium, I don't just mean they're deficient in calcium. It's calcium and magnesium and phosphorus and zinc, but it's easier just to say calcium, right? The body has huge demands and needs for calcium that simply can't be met by normal dietary, interventions. It's really hard to do that. Most people experience a remarkable improvement almost, within 2 or 3 days of their kind of general overall well-being when they finally start to give the body the calcium that it needs. So everybody, in my opinion, right, gets the 90 essential nutrients and a little extra calcium. And then if you wake up in the middle of the night, you need to add the extra EFAs and the sweeties and see what happens. It's a nice little experiment. It shouldn't take more than 14 days for you to experience an improvement in either of those regards.
My daughter never complained of having a sleep problem. She started on the 90 essential nutrients through the Healthy Body Start Pack, which is available on OperationFreedomHealth.com. And within a week, she called me and she said, Dad, I started on this, and for some reason, I'm sleeping better. Right? And she said, I didn't think I had a sleep problem, but, come to think of it, I would kind of get tired as the day went on. And, she's in her 20s. She said, since I started this, I obviously sleep better. I feel better in the morning. I feel better during the entire day.
That's that's in the area of the stuff that people didn't know they didn't know.
Yeah.
Right?
Right.
Because in her undernutrified life, right, before she got on board this program, having kind of a mediocre sleep experience was just normal.
Right.
And that's the only thing that she knew. And who really thinks about that stuff when you're that age? So to her, that was just a normal experience. And, kind of going through life in second or third gear was just normal for her. And this is, I think that experience underlines a very important concept here, that most people have never had the experience of walking through life in a body that's been completely nutrified and is optimally healthy. Most people don't have that experience.
I agree.
They don't even know that they didn't know that they don't have that experience.
Yeah, and I fell in that category, Peter.
Yeah.
I fell in that category. I am eating a healthy diet. I'm doing all the right stuff. I'm doing the organic stuff. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. And it wasn't until I got on that Healthy Body Start Pack that I kind of realized, wow. I mean, right?
And honestly, Dave, this is let's be honest and pragmatic, right? It's a less hostile political climate towards holistic medicine than it was 30 years ago when I was, a freshman at naturopathic medical school, but it's still a hostile medical climate.
Yes, it is.
And I am of the opinion, hand on my heart, that the only reason my profession continues to exist and is growing inside of a hostile political climate like this, because it works.
Yes.
I mean, our therapeutics produce often remarkable, noticeable, measurable results, and you can't argue with the truth, right? You can't argue with success, and that's one of the reasons that we continue to exist here, even though the pharmaceutical industry would rather have it another way. But there's one more thing I'd like to throw out about the whole sleep thing, and this is fascinating from a physiological point of view. I never really thought about this when I was being taught anatomy and physiology. I doubt you did either. But what we were taught, and what every medical student has been taught from time immemorial until about 9 months ago, was that the lymphatic system, right, which is in charge of, it helps the immune system, and it also is a big carrier of waste products out of the body. The lymphatic system stopped at the neck. We were all trained that the lymphatic system stops here. It doesn't go up into the brain at all. There's no interaction between the lymphatic system and the brain proper. It just doesn't exist. Well, that theory was put to bed and smashed to pieces about 9 months ago. And what was one of the fascinating things that was proven here is that not only is the lymphatic system directly connected to the brain, but it goes into hyperdrive when the person is asleep. So when you are sleeping, your brain is dumping toxins, just the normal byproducts of cellular metabolism, right?
Yep.
Good stuff in, bad stuff out. It's got to go somewhere. the brain dumps that stuff into the lymphatic system when you're asleep.
And clears the toxins.
So
if you're not
having
sleeping,
a good night's sleep is really important for a lot of reasons, reasons that we weren't even aware of until just a little while ago.
Well, and it goes with the clarity of thought. If you're sleeping, right? I mean, it's all part of that milieu. So, action plan, Peter. Bottom line foundation, Healthy Body Stark Pack. Is that okay? And then, if you're having trouble falling asleep, action plan.
The 1 bottle of Beyond Osteo FX and 1 bottle of plant-derived minerals.
And you said make the shot up.
Yeah, mix the shot up, 1 ounce of each, plus a little bit of fresh squeezed orange juice. Shoot it down immediately before bed. Boom. Go to bed and keep your fingers crossed and see what happens.
And if you're waking up at 2:35, 2:34 every morning, that's a sign of blood sugar issues. And the action plan on that?
Now, again, the distinction here, as long as you're waking up in the middle of the night and you're wide awake, doesn't matter what time it is. I don't care if it's 1 o'clock, if it's 4 o'clock, if it's 3:15. If you're regularly waking up in the middle of the night and you're wide awake, that speaks to a blood sugar issue. So the first thing to try if you have a blood sugar issues is if you're under 100 pounds, which most of our listeners wouldn't be, maybe their children would be affected by this, we do 1 bottle of Sweeties a month. That's 4 Sweeties a day. If you're between 100 and 200 pounds, it's 2 bottles of Sweeties a month. That's 4 Sweeties twice a day. If you're over 300 pounds, 3 bottles of Sweeties a month, 4 Sweeties 3 times a day. And the most important thing with the Sweeties, in my opinion, is that you get into the habit of taking that stuff at the same times every day. I don't care what times those are. Usually it's easiest for people to take a nutritional supplement right around a meal because it's easy for them to remember that.
Right.
You know, so take the Sweeties appropriate for body weight. And when you take it, try to take it more or less at the same times every day because that helps your body kind of get into a nice little blood sugar rhythm. And your blood sugar, instead of going like this all day, goes more like this.
Smooths out the curve.
That's a much better experience. I will say that the Sweeties takes a little bit longer to kick in than the calcium does. So if you're waking up in the middle of the night, I wouldn't judge this program up or down until you've tried it for a full month. But if the problem is falling asleep and restless legs or feeling muscular whatever while you're in bed, it should only be 14 days, for goodness sakes.
Peter, I'd like to thank you. All this information is available on OperationFreedomHealth.com. The products are all available there. We also have it under ailments, but we also have the products listed on the homepage. Again, full disclosure, purchase of the products do help our platform, Operation Freedom Health. I encourage you to go to Amazon, to Peter's 2 foundational books that every family should have. Everybody is sick, and I know why, and Attempt a Cure with Holistic Medicine. Peter, your website as well?
Glidden.healthcare, but we're all like I'm going to name drop. I'm going to do a big name drop here, Dave. My second cousin, 6 times removed, Benjamin Franklin, said, we must all hang together or most assuredly we will hang alone. So I like to just send people to Operation Freedom Health. There's a link there that they can go to my website. Good. But go to Operation Freedom Health, ladies and gentlemen. Operation Freedom Health. Go there. Check it out. Live long and prosper. And we also have all of our videos there for you to benefit from. Peter, I'd like to thank you for your time. Thank you for everything you do. Until next time, folks, thank you for your time. And as we sign off every segment, dream big and dare to fail.